Stream my journey to the Trinity. My name is Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy you could be with me. And yeah, I was just watching something today, and I thought, man, really need to. I really need to do something about this. And it's the our friend Imam Tawhidi was with Patrick Ben David, and now I usually kind of like Imam Tawhidi, but today I was a little bit disappointed. I gotta admit, I was a little disappointed in him and the way he was interacting, the way he was, the stuff he said, and just the way that, hello, Truth Defender, God bless you, and hello, Abla, um, Patrick Ben David, Emmanuel. Hello, Ricky Zamora. God bless you. Yes, we're almost Christmas Eve. Woohoo! So exciting. And Emmanuel Shahid and Abla and Waraka. God bless you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. Yeah. So I got to work tomorrow. I'm going to be working late tomorrow because Christmas Eve at the church. So anyway, so I just wanted to watch it. We'll watch, and you know what? To be honest, one of the reasons why I really want to watch it is I was really impressed. I was really impressed with Patrick Ben David. I think he's angry. It could be my theory, and I could be wrong, but I think he's angry about what he sees from Islam after the Australia situation. And I may be wrong, but I don't think so. He did that video, where he just said he's had enough. And Patrick Ben David, Truth Defender, he's a big YouTuber. He's much more than a YouTuber. He's a really successful businessman, and he's also a YouTuber. And he had President Trump on his program, and he had remember Rashid and Robert Spencer with Daniel Hakikachu and that other guy. He's the one who did who hosted them. And I do think I think the problem that I had, I'll just tell you the problem I had with what I saw in this interview, and I'm going to show it. I'm going to play it and we'll comment on it. The thing the problem I saw is that he wants to defend Islam. He's a Muslim. He still believes in it, and he's doing all he can to defend it. And that, I think, is his weakness. And Patrick Ben David really took him to task. I was really impressed with what Patrick Ben David did. I gotta admit, and so let's just watch it together here. We can watch. I don't know how much we're going to see, but it's called The Clash of the Turbans. Clash of the Turbans. So
one who can execute 30,000 people with no trial?
I specialize in Islamic law, and my faith, for those wondering, I am a Orthodox Shia Muslim. Orthodox is not an Islamic term, but it is the closest for the listener to understand that I am not a reformist in any way. I believe in reform of societies, reform that does not involve change of religion. So I want religion to remain what God revealed it as, and not man-made, because man-made is not accepted within Islam.
Okay, so
Man-made is not acceptable in Islam. Yeah. Dude, what the heck does that even mean?
The current population of Islam is what? 1.7, 1.8, 1.9 billion. We
Climbing
see
up
the
to
numbers.
2 billion.
Climbing up to 2 billion. Okay. How many people of the Muslim Islamic community, how many of them view things the way you do? I've heard you say about this before. It's not a big percentage of people. But for you, a lot of people call you the Imam of Peace. I think your handle is even Imam of Peace. You may even call yourself Imam of Peace, right? And there's always a confusion between this is the religion of peace, but we saw what happened on 9/11. This is religion of peace, but we saw what happened with Hamas and Israel. This is the religion of peace, but we saw what happened in Australia just recently. This is the religion of peace, but to me, you seem pretty peaceful. To me, you give me the vibes that you actually are trying to pursue peace. However, of the 1.9 billion, give or take close to 2 billion, how many of them think the way you do?
Right. So I am a follower of my religion. And to break it down in such a simple way, I don't think it would be fair for the religion itself or for its adherents, or for countries like the UAE, Bahrain, who are working very hard to establish peace and harmony.
UAE and Bahrain. UAE, by the way, is 75% non-Arabs because they bring in all these people from all over the world. And Bahrain, I don't know if they call it peace, man. But, the problem with this guy, he, first of all, is unique. And most Muslims don't agree with him, don't agree with his views. And, he's kind of got this peace vibe and stuff like that, pro-Jewish, I mean, wild stuff, but very adamantly, stubbornly Muslim.
Or their populations. So the distinction we need to make is between Islam and Islamism. Islam.
You see, he wants to make between Islam and Islamism. The truth is there is no distinction.
Islam as a religion and Islamism as a contemporary political ideology that uses Islam to gain power. And Islamists are not a monolith. So there are Islamists who believe in participating in democratic principles. You'll find them running for Congress. Mm-hmm. And you have those who will simply engage in jihad, and jihad can be categorized in many, many ways. And I mean violent jihad. I don't mean the struggle of the self against one's desires. Mm-hmm. No, I mean going into a society and changing it, going into a community and hijacking their values, and then preventing the host community from enjoying those values, free speech, freedom of religion, expression, and so on. So I would advise that we need to separate, we need to draw a fine line between the Muslim Brotherhood that was in the West first and the Muslims who came afterwards, who just want to lead a normal life. So there is no percentage that I can give you because we're not talking about the same issue. We're talking about a group of people who have hijacked a religion. And those people need to be understood because in Arabic we say which means you're stirring beside the pot or beside the cup. We need to stir in the cup in order to get the flavor of the sugar we put in it. So that's exactly what the extremists want to do. The extremist doesn't tell you he's an extremist. Mm-hmm. And the Islamist doesn't tell you he's an Islamist. They tell you we're Muslim. Osama bin Laden, for example, many people do not know he was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. Al-Qaeda came from the Muslim Brotherhood. ISIS came from the Muslim Brotherhood. Hamas is the paramilitary wing of the Muslim Brotherhood. This is not Sunni Islam. This is an organization with its own charter. That's the
and everything they do is in the Quran and it's in the Hadith.
Distinction we need to make.
And by the way, this guy doesn't accept the Hadith. like Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and stuff like that.
Otherwise, we will be discussing an issue that is very distant from the disease itself.
Okay. So how different do you view the world? So let's put them in a different community, because I think it's very important to do this. You have those who are the extremist, okay, which you're kind of talking about. Then you have those who came afterwards, not the first Muslim Brotherhood that came. The other ones that just came, they're like, look, I just want to live in America. I just want to live in Australia. I just want to live my life and have a regular life. Then you have those who are like you know, claiming, presenting peace as the basis of the way you want to live. Okay. Give me when you're talking to Tommy Robinson, you said, I think there's around 5 million people like me, like you. Then he said, and really, really like me, it's only about 500,000 people that are like me. You said this to Tommy, I think, 7 or 8 years ago when you guys did an interview. Okay. But today, if you're able to break it down, I think the extremist is this, the people that are just living in their regular life.
You're going to just fast forward
until 2013.
Right, but you went back 08, 09 to go to school there, and you were there for 2013, yes. And Rome is where Khamenei is from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Khamenei is in Rome. If not, that is where he studied.
Okay, go in, you see there's an ocean of people. You're not the only one, not the only group. And before Khamenei comes, you have his henchmen, clerics, who come up on the microphone, who rally up the audience. So by the to these guys at
this
the
is
time.
in Rome.
This is in Tehran. This is in the shrine of Khomeini in his private residence. Now, I want you to read whatever book I wanted to read and to visit America.
Number one,
the great Satan.
Ahead of Israel.
Of course.
Teaching you there. Like if you were to say the core teaching, who is the enemy? Who did you see?
So they cancel your visa, and then you have to figure it out on your own. But my visa still had time. I just did not submit to renew it. I had like 8-9 months left. So what I did was I stayed in Iran, and I stayed in another.
The most.
Okay. So you love whoever Khamenei loves, and you hate whoever Khamenei hates. It's as simple as that. If that is fixed love, changes, doesn't matter. Point is, you need to be loving who the state loves.
So who did Khamenei hate?
Of course, America, of course, Israel, of course, the UK, of course, the West in general. I mean, who
is at the top? Who is at the top of the hate for Khamenei?
America.
Number one,
the great Satan.
Ahead of Israel.
Of course.
Okay. So the Mark Bar America, that was a regular thing.
That happens every single day. You see it once a week after the Friday sermons, but it happens every single day in every single mosque that is operated by the Quran is interpreted by a man who says, I will interpret it based on my own views, based on my own understanding. Because how does Quranic interpretation happen? I need you with me.
Tell me, how does it happen?
It happens when the verses are measured against other verses or against other teachings of the Prophet.
Okay.
Or through scholarly consensus, or either through qiyas, which is analogy, or through rational approaches. When it comes to the Quran of the Muslim Brotherhood, it is the first time in history that a guy says, I will interpret it the way I want to interpret it. And I do not care what the Quran says in other places.
Well, this is one thing he says. He says there's 2 Qurans. He's talking about 2. He says he has one, and the Muslim Brotherhood has another one. So he's saying there's 2 Qurans. There's his, and then there's the one of the Muslim Brotherhood. And I don't understand what he's talking about.
And I do not care what it says, what the Prophet says. This is not unacceptable. That is the Quran of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Okay.
Ask me your question.
No, but to me, it's kind of like saying, Joseph Smith came out with the Book of Moroni. And he said, Jesus, after he died, he resurrected and went to Vermont, and he found 6 tablets. And that's how the Mormonism and the Latter-day Saints started. And they went from Vermont to I'm going to miss some of this stuff from Vermont to Chicago. Everywhere they went, they get kicked out, and his father had some issues, and eventually they end up in, I think he gets killed in one of these places, and then they end up in Utah, and that's where they build their thing. So they have the Bible and they have the Book of Moroni, right? The Book of Mormon. Translation is translation, okay? But if you go to the OG of Prophet Muhammad, let's go to that. To you, who was Prophet Muhammad? Forget the translation. The face of Muslim is Prophet Muhammad. Is that fair?
The face of Islam.
Face of Islam is Prophet Muhammad.
Correct.
Who is Prophet Muhammad to you? You seem like a very reasonable guy.
Correct.
Who is he to you?
The messenger of God.
He's the messenger of God.
Correct.
Okay. Tell me, to you, what you admire about him the most.
Everything.
Please unpack that.
Okay.
See, this is the thing. He admires everything about Muhammad. He's a rational guy. He's standing up against the so-called extremism, and yet he admires everything about Muhammad. It's like, dude.
The Muhammad that the West has been introduced to is not our Muhammad, the Muhammad of the Quran.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Very important. And please, Patrick, ask me any question. And if you feel I haven't answered you, please go back and.
I just want to tell you, he doesn't answer questions. This is, you know what? I had some respect for this guy before, but after this interview, it lessened my respect tremendously because I don't feel like he's answering the questions.
Make sure that you're satisfied with my answer.
He wasn't satisfied with his answers, and yet. Anyway.
I'm not here to evade anything. So please,
just so you know, you don't give me that vibe at all.
Okay.
So you don't even have to explain yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. Arabia needed monotheism. This was a society that was worshipping dates and stones and burying their daughters alive, worshipping idols. The tradition of Abraham was corrupted in Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
We call this the time of ignorance, Zaman al-Jahiliyyah. God sent a man, we believe, in the same way he sent Moses and Jesus. His name is Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
He sent him to Arabia, not to start a new religion, but to continue the religion of previous prophets. Moses being, the final Jewish prophet, and Jesus being the messenger for the Christians. Now,
okay, first of all, Moses was not the last Jewish prophet. He's like the first. To say that is just outrageous. And then to say that Jesus was for the Christians, he's for the whole world.
You may believe him to be the Son of God.
Mm-hmm.
I see him as a prophet of God. But what we agree upon is that he was a messenger of God. What he came with came from God, came from you call him the Father.
So where is what he came with? If that's the case, then where is what he came with?
Call him Allah. The Prophet Muhammad, you may.
He says, you call him Father, we call him Allah.
Read the Quran that he came down with. And we say he came with, but it was revealed to him. So it did not come down as a tablet, it came down as verse by verse, or certain verses together. His focus in Arabia was monotheism. Who is God? Who is our creator and our responsibility towards him? That's it. That is the main fundamental pillar of the message of the Prophet. Do not worship idols. Do not worship idols that you create with your own hands. And when you get hungry, you eat them out of dates and so on. Do not have sexual relations with your parents. Do not kill your parents.
This is a beautiful religion. Don't have sex with your parents and don't kill your parents. Just beautiful, man. It's just like, what the heck, man?
Do not murder the innocent, for example.
Don't murder. Yeah.
Respect the basic Noahide laws. This is exactly what our Prophet advocated for. Then there is a development of a religion. That is where it gets more interesting, because it all goes back to those people following the Prophet Muhammad. The Prophet Muhammad was born in 570. He passed away in 632. He was a prophet for 23 years. In 23 years, all of his battles were defensive. And you can look this.
All of his battles were defensive. All of his battles were defensive. Where did this guy get this? I mean, I know this guy. All his battles were defensive. Jihad. You know, he had so many battles. He had so many, I think it was like 83 or something. And he was out doing that to spread Islam and to get all the booty, you know, because he get a fifth of the booty from each battle. Where does he get that all his battles were defensive? If there's anybody who can come up, if there's a Muslim who come up and prove this, who wants to try to support what he's saying, you know what he but you know what, Truth Defender, I'm a little surprised at how much he pushes back. I'm surprised at how much he pushes back at this guy. And you know what? There's another guy who used to come up. He hasn't come up for a while. It was called Orthodox Moor. Really nice guy. And he believes the Bible and believes the Quran and believes the Hadith and believes everything. And you know, his version of Islam, I don't think there's anybody else who believes it. And this guy right here, I kind of feel like, I don't know that anybody else believes what this guy believes, or it's such a tiny percentage of the Muslims. And anyway, but I kind of hope I'll be able to show you some of the places where Patrick Ben David pushes back.
This up as I'm speaking. They were all defensive.
All defensive.
And we can speak about
all defensive. Give me a break. All defensive. And you got to wonder, how come he had 83 cities and villages fighting him in the first place? If there are 83 battles, all of them are defensive? That means everywhere he went, people just started fighting him? I don't think so. How could 83 battles be defensive? He was out there offensive. Jihad began defensively, but then it became offensively. Fight those who believe not in Allah nor the last days, and subdue them until they pay the jizya. Unbelievable. So, okay.
treatment of Christians, of Jews, of any group. Ask me any question. I'll tell you this. But before we do so, I want to just point to a book that I think is valuable just for context, by John Tolan, The Faces of Muhammad. Right. So this book shows you that the West itself, in this book, the author, Mr. Tolan, speaks about the faces of Muhammad in the West. Muhammad during the medieval era, how did the Western world view him? Muhammad during the Reformation era, Muhammad during the Enlightenment era. So when you ask me about my prophet, this question is coming from the developments and the events happening in our time.
No, it doesn't. It comes from your books.
Muhammad was never looked at in a single way by the West. He was looked at as Muhammad the businessman, Muhammad the poet, Muhammad.
He's looked at as Muhammad the warlord. We don't look at him as a poet or as a businessman. we look at him as a warlord.
the warrior, Muhammad the father of
Pedophile.
orphans, Muhammad the statesman,
Father of orphans, pedophile.
right? So when I speak about the Prophet Muhammad, I'll tell you this: he was a man sent by God to Arabia to guide them towards monotheism and ethics.
Yah, his ethics.
That's it. That is who he was. That's what his mission was.
And to destroy Christianity and Judaism, right?
And that is exactly what the Quran focuses on. But yes, it's a book that speaks to a developing community. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be war, and there's going to be peace. There's going to be a lot of difficult conversations to be had, and we should not shy away from them.
What's the most difficult part of the Quran that you had to accept?
No, I accept it all with no difficulty.
None of it.
No, because there's no question you can ask me that I do not have a rational answer for.
The most basic one I'll go to that you've probably been asked a million times that you know of. So Aisha, how do you process that?
Aisha was not married to the Prophet at a young age. She was an adult.
And I've heard you say this before.
She was an adult.
Do you know how many people who are
So Aisha was an adult, you guys. She was an adult. I could right now, and I know there's way more than what I'm telling you. I could right now pull up 13 hadiths, all sahih, all from the sahih books, showing she was 6 years old when she got married, or 7. She was 6 or 7 when she got married. 9, all of the hadiths, there's like 8, at least 8 times where it says she was 9 years old when Muhammad consummated the marriage, and several say she was with Muhammad 9 years, and he died when she was 18. That's what it says in the hadith.
Islam, Muslim scholars who do the complete opposite, who don't even debate it?
Right.
But you debate it.
They're preachers. They're not imams. They are preachers. The son of an imam is not an imam. Just because your dad has a mosque and leads prayers and gives you the microphone to speak, it does not make you a theologian.
If the average person goes and checks to see, by the way, let's do this. Let me ask the question in a different way.
Right.
If he did marry Aisha at 6,
Right.
if he did consummate at 9,
Right.
would you still be a Muslim?
The thing is, he would never do that.
No, but here's a different question I'm asking.
See, he says, I'm going to answer you. I'm not going to evade. Look how he evaded, and he continues to evade. Let me just play that again.
Process that.
Aisha was not married to the Prophet at a young age. She was an adult.
And I've heard you say this before.
She was an adult.
Do you know how many people who are Islam, Muslim scholars who do the complete opposite, who don't even debate it?
Right.
But you debate it.
They're preachers. They're not imams. They are preachers. The son of an imam is not an imam. Just because your dad has a mosque and leads prayers and gives you the microphone to speak, it does not make you a theologian.
If the average person goes and checks to see, by the way, let's do this. Let me ask the question in a different way.
Right.
If he did marry Aisha at 6,
Right.
if he did consummate at 9,
Right.
would you still be a Muslim?
The thing is, he would never do that.
No, but here's a different question I'm asking.
Right. He would never do that.
I'm not asking.
He would never do that. Yeah. What the heck? See why I kind of lost respect for him? He would never do that. Give me a break.
Asking that question. If your prophet, if, this is an if, it's a key word, if he did marry a 6-year-old, if he did consummate, which means, have sex with somebody at 9, that some people would, define that as rape. They wouldn't even consider that as sex. If he did, would you still be a Muslim? Would you still see yourself as a Muslim yourself?
Patrick, I'm not running away from the question. I
He's running away from the question.
swear on my life
I swear
and on my mother's life. I'm
he's swearing on his mother's life and his own life.
telling you, when you say prophet, to me it means an infallible being that does not make a mistake or make error.
You see the problem there? It's cognitive dissonance. On the one hand, this guy makes sense a little bit more than most Muslims. He's not anti-Semitic. He tries to be peaceful, and yet he has these beliefs about Muhammad that are just outrageous.
It doesn't make sense.
Then let me ask the question in a different way. Okay.
We just played that part.
Your
To me, it means an infallible being that does not make a mistake or make error. It doesn't make sense.
Then let me ask the question in a
He's talking about a prophet, is infallible being. Infallible being. In the Quran, Allah says to Muhammad that he forgives his past and future sins. All his past and future sins. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean that Allah forgives all of Muhammad's past and future sins? This is, I just want to show it to you. I just want to show it to you just so you don't say I'm making this up. Because he just said that Muhammad is an infallible being. Here's Quran. This is Allah talk to Muhammad, so that God may forgive you your past and future sins. He's speaking to Muhammad. It says your past and future sins. How can he be infallible? This is Quran 48:2. Now, I want to see it in Arabic. Okay. لَيِغْفِرْ لَكَ Allah. So Allah will forgive you مَا تُقَدَّمْ مِنْ ذَنْبَكَ. What is in the future of your sins. وَمَا تَأَخَّرْ وَيَتِمْ نَعْمَتُ. And what is future of your sins. ذَنْبَكَ means your sins. Your sins. I mean, what's this guy talking about, man? It's like, I lost so much respect for him. I lost so much respect for him here because I see a cognitive dissonance. He's got two different things going on in his head.
in a different way. Okay. You're born into a family that is non-religious at all. You have to find your own way. It's not third generation Imam. They're not Muslim, but it's not atheist. Maybe it's agnostic. You go pick and choose and find your own. Not Christian, not Presbyterian, not Jehovah, not nothing, right?
I would eventually end up as Muslim. And as Shia
You
Muslim.
say that now. And,
There's that thing there. I mean, he's really
understand saying that. I would also say I would end up being a Christian myself, and I would say that, but neither one of us know that for a fact. We can play that and say yes, but I get the positioning of you having faith in what you're saying. If we put something on a board, facts of each religion out there, let's name one of them the religion of whatever. But the founder of that religion, who was admired by a couple billion people, if it was factually proven that he married someone at 6 and they had sex at 9, would you ever consider that religion? If, I didn't say Muslim, I said if it was proven that the founder had done that, would you ever accept that religion?
No, of course not.
You wouldn't.
No.
Okay, beautiful.
But again, the Prophet for us, when you say Muhammad, you know what I process? An infallible human being that does not make mistakes at all or any error. So it's impossible that he would.
You know what he's telling me? He's telling me there's cognitive dissonance going on. There's something wrong because he's telling you what's in his head. He's telling you this is what's in my head. It's like, dude, there's something wrong there. And what it is Islam. He has to defend it at all no matter what. Very sad.
make such a decision. And plus, the issue of Aisha, you have to weigh it against the society and the dates around her. She was born after her sister Asma, and she died before Asma. And I have it in a study which I can definitely send you. She was either 18, from 18 to 21 years old. There is no Muslim consensus that Aisha was 3 or 6 or 9 or 15. There are more popular opinions because there is a state behind the publications promoting them. Yes, that I accept. But again, with all due respect, if you put a book in front of me, a history book, and you tell me this book was authored by a very respected man, you know what I'll tell you? I'll tell you with all due respect, Brother Patrick, I know you gave me a book. You put a book in front of me, but God gave me a brain, and I can do mathematics, and I can understand exactly.
You see, he's using his brain and he can do mathematics. But I know I don't need to do this with you guys because most of you guys know this better than me. But I just want to show that because this guy doesn't believe, like, he's Shiri, he doesn't believe in the a lot of the hadiths of the Sunnis. But I want to show you something, and it's and that's in the Quran. This is the verse 65:4. For your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months. So if a woman has been divorced, you got to wait 3 months before you can marry her. And those who have not menstruated as well. And the scholars agree that this means because they're too young, they're prepubescent, they haven't menstruated. You can marry them, you can consummate the marriage, you can divorce them, and they can be remarried before they menstruate, before they reach puberty. And this is in the Quran, not in the Hadith. You see, the Prophet asked Abu Bakr for Aisha's hand. Abu Bakr said, but I'm your brother. The Prophet said, you're my brother in Allah's religion. Yes. Because his brother, Abu Bakr was thinking, dude, she's a little girl. What are you talking about? See, the narrator received the narration from Aisha, had no idea if he was receiving hadith from a kid or grown adult Aisha. And it's in there so many times. It's I gotta say, guys, and you know what? I'm trying not to lose respect for this guy, but I am losing respect for him.
When she was born,
Okay.
where she was, it's not hard to work it out.
Well,
18 to 21,
okay.
final
18 to 21.
verdict.
Final verdict. Dude, nobody agrees with you. Maybe there are people who agree with him, but about 2 billion Muslims, almost 2 billion, don't agree with him.
According to your opinion, is 18 to 21, right? According to your
But
opinion.
I have Islamic sources for it.
But those are also sources.
But they are,
So the two sources
No,
are debating each other.
again, a source.
See, Patrick Ben David, man, that's awesome. What a great observation. He says you're rejecting these sources and you're accepting these sources. So the sources are fighting each other. And they're not in agreement. That's a great observation because he's trusting some source. He's just not trusting these sources. And so, dude, and my respect for Patrick Ben David went through the roof with this. He's pushing back. I really respect him for that.
Is measured and is judged
Okay.
based on the author and based on the credibility of the source.
Based on the Sahih or Da'if, whatever. And there's no way he'll get, the Shiites are a small percentage of the Muslims. There's maybe 300 million and there's almost 2 billion Muslims in the world, and 300 million, about that many are Shiites. The rest of them, which is 70%, more than 70%, don't believe anything he said. They believe their sources, which say she was 6. And they believe their sources are credible.
So when you're telling me that she was, it's narrated that she's 6 or 9, I understand where that comes from. And I can also tell you that book is banned in certain countries. So
banned in certain countries. Who cares? Who cares if it's banned in certain countries? What does that mean? Who cares if it's banned in certain countries?
that's the same book and I don't want to mention, I don't want to offend X% of Muslims by saying this, but I'll tell you this. If a book is rejected because it was relied upon by ISIS, it should also be rejected if it tells you that Aisha was 6 and that my prophet was a rapist.
People aren't rejecting it because of ISIS. People are not rejecting it because of ISIS. People aren't rejecting ISIS. That it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work because of Islam. What he's saying does not work.
You reject the book in its totality.
Do you know?
Reject the book in its totality. Yeah, you wish.
So, what is the worst rumor ever made about you?
Worst rumor about me?
What is the worst rumor ever made about you? Worst rumor ever made about you? That it's almost like it's insane.
No, but I would weigh worst by the value of the source of the rumor. So if there's someone important.
Yeah, but this is you have to realize when people make rumors about Clinton, and they'll say he went to Epstein Island, and he raped somebody, he did this, he did that, okay, and then there is a moment where he's holding up a check of $850,000, another woman that got $850,000 that they settled, and these Epstein pictures are coming up, okay? How come these rumors are not there of Jimmy Carter?
That is a genius thing he just said. He's saying all of these pictures of Bill Clinton, all these rumors of Bill Clinton, but you don't have the rumors about Jimmy Carter. Why not? Because there's no truth to them. But with here, you got evidence. But with Jimmy Carter, there aren't those rumors about. Why? Because he didn't do it. Why are there these rumors about Bill Clinton? Because he did it. And there's evidence.
How come these rumors are not there? For Jimmy Carter, the rumors were very different. With George Bush Sr., the rumors were director of CIA, John F. Kennedy. Where was he the day John F. Kennedy got assassinated? Okay. The rumors of everybody's different. Can you imagine you are the prophet of a denomination, of a religion, where the main source Muslims have to overcome the objection is the fact that your prophet married a 6-year-old and consummated at 9 years old. That's not one person spread it. This isn't President Trump saying Obama was born in Kenya and, here, go show your birth certificate. And the day the White House released the birth certificate, my graphic designer said, this is a BS birth certificate. And Obama, this is a fake birth certificate. We're looking at it, right? This is not that. This is something that's been around for a long time. So it's not like it's a one person that's against Muslims that is saying the founder was married a 6-year-old, 9-year-old. That's everywhere. Now, let me ask you the second one. The second one is,
you see the way he did that? That was amazing. That was an amazing point, man. He's saying this has been around for 1,400 years. People have known this. They've written about it. They've known about this. And it's not just one person saying this. Wow. I'm so impressed with him. I'm really so impressed with him, the way he pushed back. And I really am very disappointed in Imam Tawhidi.
What is your impression of what happens if I am a Muslim and I die and I go to heaven? Are there 72 virgins waiting for me? Where are you at with that?
Two questions, Patrick, that need unpacking.
Oh, do it. Go for it.
Need unpacking, need cognitive dissonance.
Okay. Firstly, with regards to rumors, I gather you're a proud Christian.
I am.
Okay. What's the rumor about Mary? Peace be upon her,
Okay.
the mother of Jesus.
Yeah.
What do
This is so sick and pathetic what he says, you guys.
our Jewish brothers in Abrahamic faith think of Mary?
Not the same.
Okay. And it's not nice either.
It's not nice either. No.
Does it bring you value that Christianity is part of an Abrahamic lineage from Abraham, well, Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, this tradition all the way down to Jesus that the Bible refers to? Of course, you have something to stand on theologically.
Okay.
I understand the whole concept or faith that Jesus Christ is the Savior and the Son of God. I understand. And that being above everything I just mentioned.
Mhm.
I understand that. But the rumor about Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, is a very serious one. And it still stands according to the Abrahamic faith of Judaism, which both your prophets and my prophets come from. Your prophet was Jesus Christ was
So stupid. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I just want to say one thing, and I think the Holy Spirit told me this about this stupid argument he's putting forth. He's trying to say there's these rumors about Mary that she was a prostitute or something like that, you know, an adulteress or something like that. Like I guess some Jews maybe say that stuff. But the thing is, this is from enemies of Christianity are saying that about her. Enemies of Christianity are saying those things about her. The things about Muhammad is being said by the believers in his religion. It's the Muslims themselves who are saying Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl, had sex with her when she was 9. The ones who are spreading the rumors about Mary, and tell you the truth, I never even heard it. I mean, I did eventually hear it, but no Christian believes it. But most Muslims believe Muhammad married a 6-year-old and had sex with her when she was 9. No Christians believe this rumor about Mary that he alleges. And so the rumor about Mary is from the enemies of Christianity. But the rumors about Muhammad, which is not a rumor, is by the believers of Islam. The vast majority, 99% possibly. So it's completely, he's moving the goalpost to try to push this pathetic. And this is why I'm disappointed in him, you guys. I mean, I kind of liked some of the stuff, like when he was arguing with Daniel Hakikachu and trying to, being anti-jihad and all this stuff. But the way he's talking here, man, it's just like, dude, this is pathetic, man. Super pathetic.
Jewish at the end of the day. For us, he's a prophet of the Israelites.
Okay.
And all of God's prophets for us were Israelites. We don't have female prophets, by the way, obviously. But the Prophet Muhammad is the only Arab non-Israelite prophet.
Okay, we don't have women prophets, obviously. Why, obviously? Because we do have women prophets. The Jews have women prophets. The Jews have women prophets. The Christians have women prophets. In the book of Acts, Philip's daughters, 5 of them, they all prophesied. Deborah was a prophetess. Miriam was called a prophetess, Moses' sister. Why doesn't Islam have prophetesses? Because women aren't equal in Islam. And he says, obviously. dude, you guys, I don't know if he's ever going to see this, but I really lost respect for him. I had a modicum of respect for him before, but the way he's dealing with these questions, I'm losing it. I don't have that much respect for him anymore.
Prophet. Do you know that that rumor still stands in the tradition of every single Jew? And that rumor stands in the seminaries. You know how that rumor was neutralized, at least in the Abrahamic household of ours? This book.
He's not in the Abrahamic household of ours. The Quran. The Quran. Yeah, is he saying that the Jews? Is he saying that the Jews believe the Quran? How crazy! Does this stop the Jews from saying what they said about Mary? Give me a break.
Did the greatest service to Christianity. The Quran that I believe in, this is the same Quran. When you say people follow a book, this is the same book. That if I were to open the very heart of this book, now give or take a few pages here and there, because of course you're dealing with a publication that puts a license and a contents page, right? This, we call it Qalb al-Quran, the heart of the Quran, here, so the viewers can see it. The first chapter in the heart of the Quran is Surah Maryam, the chapter of Mary. And it begins
Unbelievable.
by narrating the miracle of the birth of Jesus Christ.
The birth of Isa. Thank you.
Islam is the only religion that told our Jewish brothers and sisters that Mary gave birth to Jesus without a husband.
Oh, Islam. You guys, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Yo, boy, yeah, yo, boy, yeah. Yo, boy, yeah, this guy. Oh, my goodness. Islam is the only religion that told the Jews that Jesus was born of a virgin. Oh, my goodness. Give me a break. Oh, dude. And the Jews, are the Jews listening to you? Did they listen to Muhammad or did they laugh at him? They laughed at him. That's why he hated them so much, because they thought he was a joke. And I hate to tell this guy, but he's making me think he's a joke too. Unbelievable. Yeah, boy, yeah.
This is the same book, by the way.
Yeah, boy, yeah.
You point to a religion for me that did this service to
Oh,
Christianity.
they did such a great service, you know, besides telling them to cut off our heads and our fingertips.
And to Jesus Christ and to Mary, other than Islam.
You didn't answer the question.
No,
though.
but I'm getting
You're
there.
not
I'm
answering.
getting there.
So
I tell you guys, I'm respecting this guy. Do you hear what he said? We got to play that again. Let me play that again.
That Mary gave birth to Jesus without a husband. This is the same book, by the way. You point to a religion for me that did this service to Christianity and to Jesus Christ and to Mary, other than Islam.
you didn't answer the question.
No,
though.
but I'm getting there.
No, you're not
I'm
answering.
getting there.
So
You did answer the question.
so you have to realize, I was an atheist for 25 years of my life.
Right.
And what you just said right there was one of the reasons why I had a hard time being a Christian. Because for me, that was an era of naivete. How hard is it for somebody to convince the people that I was a virgin and I'm pregnant and I haven't had sex with anybody? How did I get pregnant? For somebody to believe that, who's a logical person, who's a math guy, which is me. I'm not a Christian 25 years. I'm an atheist. You couldn't get me to go into a church. I thought it was for the people of the weak. So a lot of these things you're saying, logically, I was the guy that you were talking about, and I'm not even a Jew. I was just an atheist. I'm like, no, the life I lived living in Iran, seeing all the bombing, seeing Hezbollah, seeing what Saddam Hussein was doing, seeing what Khomeini was doing, seeing what happened to a once great nation where anybody from around the world would come to vacation for Iran. No. So I came from that, but you haven't answered the question yet.
Please ask
The
me.
question is about the prophet, the criticism of him when you read the stories about his wives, when you read the stories about Aisha, specific to Aisha, I ask you two things. It was Aisha and it was the 72 virgins when I died.
Yes. Okay. So 72 virgins is real. That's in Islam. It's in the concept
I think
of
that's
it.
a little weird.
The concept of it is in the Quran.
He says it's real. And Patrick Ben David says, isn't that a little weird? I tell you what, man. I'm gonna put Patrick Ben David in my prayer book to pray for him, man. He's just dang. He's like hitting these home runs out of the park, man. Unbelievable, man. I'm so impressed with him.
Quran.
Yeah,
But again, allow me to unpack.
please.
So,
Dude, when this guy says unpack, that means we're gonna go for 6 hours of poetry. And
when you read these things in the Quran, please, Patrick, please, let's not forget the type of community these statements were being issued to. We're not talking about Oxford graduates or Harvard graduates. This was a primitive society in need of guidance. And therefore, in their mentality, there were certain things they considered to be worthwhile and rewards. And unfortunately, one of them, again, is women.
unfortunately, one of them is women. Give me a break, man. Oh, dude. Oh, man, that's so bad. And so Allah gives in to their lusts and uses that lust to seduce them into becoming Muslims and to give their lives to fight for Muhammad. Dude, you know what you're saying? You know what? This is what makes me think the cognitive dissonance. There's a part of his brain that works so good, that is so wanting something better, that there's a part that won't let go of the disease, which is Islam.
Right. So the word 70 in Islam and in Arabic tradition and Arabic literature in general means a lot.
So 70 means a lot. It doesn't mean 70, even though in the hadiths, okay, it says you get 2 women from paradise and 70 from hell. That's a number. That's a number. You know.
It does not mean exactly 72.
It could mean 73, or it could mean 62.
You know, you'll have preachers, again, I'm speaking about preachers. Preachers who say every one of these virgins comes with 100 maids.
Yep, there are.
So we're not going to stop counting. And every maid has a secondary mate. So what is this? You know,
That's the insanity. That's the insanity. I could show you those shifts right now.
at the end of the day, there is a solid Abrahamic tradition that is
He's making it Abrahamic. It's got nothing to do with Abraham.
focused on purity and piety.
Purity and piety. It didn't get to Muhammad.
And then you have the development of a religion, and there are conversations between the religious hierarchy and the adherents of that religion. We have traditions, for example, where our prophet was sitting down and people would come and ask him the same question. And he would answer in a different way. He wouldn't misguide people, but he would give the same answer in a different way. And the companions would say, why would you answer them differently? He says, because the first one was a farmer. If I give him examples using trees and fruits, he would understand. And the second guy was a businessman. If I
What the heck does this have to do with his question? What the heck does this have to do with the 72 virgins and the 9-year-old girl?
speak to him in real estate, he'll understand better. It's more about being relatable.
Yeah, boy,
So,
yeah.
number one, the idea of 72 virgins is not a pillar in Islam, meaning that if you don't believe in it, you cannot be a full Muslim. No, it is there in the Quran, part of a conversation between the religion and the the developing society, with a reminder that you're talking about a society, Patrick. Can I just ask my brother here? Can you just go to the
Okay. Muslims say this all the time. You have to think about the society that he came to. So, is he bringing something from Allah, or is he bringing something from the society? Because it seems that what they're saying is, what he's saying is that this message came out of that society.
Google, Patrick? Firstly, I should have said this first. I congratulate you on your clarity. Really, I haven't done
And I don't congratulate you for your lack of clarity.
podcasts in America for 7 years, maybe 8 years. Yes, I don't. I get
Why is that?
I get invites.
7, 8 years.
I
you
can
haven't done?
open my phone and show you the
Really?
type of
Oh, I
people
can only
invited,
imagine.
right? But if I don't
You know, it would have been funny if Patrick said, I don't know why people want to invite you. You don't answer any questions.
listen to a podcast myself,
Use flattery or something to avoid answering the question. Can you get back to the virgins and Aisha? Look at this guy, went all over the universe, man.
and I don't respect the interviewer, I don't. When I listen to you on other shows, I'll get to you now. When I listen to you interviewing other people, you know, when you're listening to someone and in your mind you have something to say about it, you're that guy. You always say exactly what
Flattery, man, because he doesn't want to answer the question.
I'm thinking. And I congratulate your clarity on many of these issues, but please, this is good. I want to continue. Go there and put Quranic verse, enter the home from its door.
But yeah, what the heck does this have to do with the 72 virgins and the 9-year-old girl? Because he asked him both of those questions, and this guy's, look at the verse he gives them.
Okay, click on that. Go down. There's a first link, right? Surah Al-Baqarah, 189. Wait. Okay, there we go. Chapter 2, verse 189. You want to highlight that, please? The second sentence. Okay. Do you see that, Patrick?
Mhm.
I'm going to go to the end of that verse
Look
there.
at this verse again.
Righteousness is not in entering your houses from the back doors. Rather, righteousness is to be mindful of Allah. So enter your homes through their proper doors. Patrick, tell me, why is it that Archangel Gabriel, this is again, I'm speaking about the Islamic tradition, Archangel Gabriel, who carried each and every one of these verses down onto the Prophet Muhammad. And in the Quran, we are told when revelation comes down, the Prophet, his temperature goes up, right? It's something heavy that's being bestowed upon him. He's
His temperature goes up. That's not all that goes up. Okay. He starts making noise like a camel. It says he starts snorting like a camel. His skin turns red and he starts manifesting like the exorcist. That's exactly what it says in the hadith. You know, not where does he get this? His temperature goes up. Where does he get this? He gets it from some source that he trusts, but he doesn't trust the other sources. But
receiving a message from God. He begins to sweat. He's in fear. Now, the Prophet has to go through that entire process for then a verse to tell him, please tell your guys, tell the believers. He's speaking to the Muslims, the first Muslim community in Mecca. Enter your home from the front door.
oh yeah, enter your house through the front door. Wow, dang, that answers everything. You know, enter your house through the front door. Dude, that answers all about the virgins and all about the Aisha and the 6-year-old girl and everything like that. That answers everything. Enter your house through the front door. That, dude, such clarity, such phenomenal clarity. And you guys get the hand motion. Look at the hand motion. It's so powerful what he's saying, that there's the hands to add oomph, chutzpah. Jeez.
What were you doing? What were you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you saying? What are you doing?
You see, that's the level of intellect we need to be mindful of.
Yeah, but yeah. What the heck? I wonder if that spirit that's in him is just confusing him. I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of what he's saying, man. If there's a Muslim here who wants to come up and explain this to us, because I can't make heads or tails of what this guy is saying. If there's a Muslim who wants to come up and defend this guy, we welcome you.
These are people who were not accustomed to anything logical that you and I have. But when you meet someone, basic common sense and basic logic, that does not exist. And you can't expect it from someone who buries his daughter alive. You can't. Someone who
What the heck?
thinks burying daughters alive is a shame, that's the level of mentality our prophet had to deal with. Patrick, Jesus Christ came to a civilization.
You guys, this is so disgusting what he says here, but let me just play it.
Our prophet had to deal with. Patrick, Jesus Christ came to a civilization. He came to a civilization where there were Romans, and the Jewish civilization alone is huge. That's why he didn't have to go through what our prophet went through.
He didn't have to go through what his prophet went through. What the heck? They crucified him. What the talking about? They crucified him. What are you talking about? Dude. Jeez. This is unbelievable, man. Jesus Christ didn't have to go through what his prophet went through. They crucified Jesus. They spit on him. They beat him. They put a crown of thorns on his head. Jesus Christ didn't have to go through what his prophet went through. What is he talking about? You guys, this is, oh my goodness.
Our prophet was dealing with people who don't get it. The struggle was real, I'm telling you.
It wasn't real with Jesus. He got crucified. It was real.
You're not dealing with a single situation. This is the type of people. He has to tell them when you go home,
Go into the front door.
please use the front door. Like revelation needs to take place because they were digging holes from the back of their homes and entering from the back after complete.
That answers everything. That answers everything. They were digging holes. Oh my goodness, you guys.
Pilgrimage. But why would you have a front door if you don't use it?
You're saying
Why do you have a front door if you don't use it? Dude, Imam Tawhidi, I respected you. What the heck are you talking about?
the following of Prophet Muhammad during the time that he was and where he was, there wasn't a level of advancement. So it was a higher level of naivete with the people versus Jesus came to a place where there was already an established society. Is that what you're saying?
Beautifully said.
Okay. So then help me correlate those two together, because one would say that's even a bigger opportunity to manipulate and deceive and persuade a more naive audience than you would a more educated audience, which would be tougher to do so.
No, but they had their own traditions. and they had their own gods, as I said. They worship.
Dude, Patrick. Dude. That's it. Dude, that's it. That's it. That is it. Patrick Ben David. Dude, that did it right there for me. You see, this is my prayer book, you guys. And in my prayer book, I pray almost every day. I should pray every day. First thing I pray for is my wife. She's number one every day. She's number one in my prayer book. But then I pray for my family, my disciples, people that I've led to the Lord, ministries I know. Pray for David and Sam, God Logic and Kelly and pastors I know. But today I'm going to add the name of Patrick Ben David. And I'm going to start praying for this guy. Because he is a rock star in my book. Patrick Ben David, see? So I'm going to start praying for him. Dude, I am totally happy with this guy. Patrick Ben David. Really. He's asking questions, you guys, that are just like, I think, I mean, it's just my opinion, but in my opinion, he's asking the right questions and he's pressing the right questions. He doesn't let him get away with these evasions. All he does is evade. Dude, for 20 minutes, he's talking about going into the front door of your house and digging holes in the backyard. When he was asked about the 72 virgins and having sex with the 6-year-old, and he's talking about going in the front door.
Their own idols. They had everything in place. There was a functioning tribal society.
Who were they idolizing before Prophet Muhammad?
The idols, Lat wal Uzza. Do you want to pull that up? Just put the idol of Lat and
Uzza?
Al-Uzza.
Uzza.
Yeah. No. Lat with a T, yep. And Uzza. U-double-Z-A.
Sorry, what was the last?
U-double-Z-A.
Double Z?
Yeah.
Double Z. No. U-Z-Z?
A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Al-Uzza.
This is one of the three chief goddesses of Arabian religion, pre-Islamic. Then she was worshipped by the pre-Islamic Arabs, and the Allat and Manat, the stone cube of Nakhla near Mecca, was held sacred as part of her cult. She mentioned in Quran 53:19 as being one of the goddess whom people worship. So he comes in a time where the level of naivete is high, but prior to that, they had some traditions.
Just like Abraham. Abraham had to deal with the Nimrod and the idol worshipping.
Right.
But go back to that Wikipedia page, please. I want you to click on right there where your mouse is. You see pre-Islamic Quraysh? Click on that. Okay.
So, no offense, and I don't mean to be a jerk, but it's my program. I could be a jerk. But he's getting his information from Wikipedia.
That is the chief Arabian tribe that ruled Mecca. It's called Quraysh.
Who cares?
And our prophet was from Quraysh.
Who cares?
So he came not only to a society, he
What
was
about-
rebelling against his own people.
What about the 72 virgins? What about the 9-year-old girl? That was the question.
They were the establishment. You see that? So many people think that our prophet came against Jews and Christians. That's tribal alliances we'll get to later on. But the establishment itself was the prophet's family. The so-called conquest of Mecca, where the prophet came in and took Mecca, he was simply coming back home. So by law,
But they didn't want him. So how did he get them? He fought them. He was defeated by them, and then he fought them again and took over. He even had to fight his own city, and it wasn't a defensive fight.
if the chiefs of by tribal law, by international law, if the owners of the land submit to you, and by tribal law and Islamically, all laws submit that the Prophet entering Mecca without a single drop of blood being shed, right? He took over Mecca. So he came back home. He's from Quraysh. He came to guide Quraysh, and Quraysh opposed him and tried to murder him. So upon return, what he did was, without spilling a single drop of blood, he
So much blood.
entered Mecca, which is today the holiest site for Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
And there are reasons why Mecca is the holiest site for Muslims. It's not just the
We're not going to hear about the virgins, you guys.
location where God
I mean, this is almost.
placed his home. I don't know if we're aware of that. Can you just click on Mecca, the first line right there? Beautiful.
Wikipedia.
Okay, click on that black cube there, the picture.
Wikipedia.
So we Muslims believe that Adam, our father Adam, the father of humanity, because again, Muslims believe there were humans before Adam. So he was a prophet. Prophet to who? There must have been a nation that he
So what?
came to guide. The point is, the Prophet Adam, so we refer to him as Prophet Adam, came to Arabia and created the base for this Kaaba, for the house of God. And then Abraham came and built it. And ever since then, it has undergone renovations. So floods would take place, for example, the flood of Noah, we believe. And then there's this theological question as to why the flood of Noah would even disrupt the structure of the Kaaba. And that's because it was full of idols at the time. It wasn't as sacred as it is after it was purified by the Prophet. So this was full of idols. Inside it were idols where that door is.
One of them was Allah. Allahu Akbar.
Above it and around it were full of idols.
Is he answering anything? Anything?
So I think we came down a different path. But going back, I still want you to know, the Prophet came to an established community that had amazing poets, had mathematicians. But when we say ignorant, they were ignorant of things to do with religion, with God, and they were firm in their belief of idols. And they had some terrible, terrible traditions, such as burying their women
daughter
alive. And to be honest, when you said what's the issue that you struggle with a lot in Islam, I thought you were going to ask me about the wife beating verse. I really
He was going to ask him about the wife beating verse. He's got an answer for it, you guys.
thought so. But then you took it another path. But we can discuss that too. But when it comes to the community, please keep in mind the community was not a highly developed community at the time.
So essentially, he's saying that Islam came out of that community. That's the reason it's so irrelevant to reality, is because it came out of this community. And dude, that was so pathetic. Dude, Imam Tawhidi, I welcome you to come on, Imam Tawhidi. You know, I doubt you're watching this, or you'll ever watch it. But if you do, please come on. I'd love to talk to you. And I gotta say, just in case you watch this, compare when you were with Daniel Hakikachu and you were talking with, you know, that guy, friendly ex-Muslim, and I really respected you. But the way you're talking now, it's not so much a respect issue as a concern issue, because it seems like there's a cognitive dissonance, almost an incurable cognitive dissonance in you. This is what I feel.
Okay. So what happens if, by the way, just so you know, for me,
This is going to be a great question, guys.
you know, sometimes people see and they're wondering, well, Patrick's an Islamophobic, is this, is that? My chef that's been with my family for 3 years, who's with us in our house, is a Muslim chef from Turkey. And he still is a Muslim. He's not converted to Christianity. He's a Muslim himself. He cooks for us.
Comment.
I had an assistant, guy named Hutan, who was a Muslim, who was with me for 1 year, one of the nicest guys I met in my life. But then I got hundreds of stories on the other side as well of what happened that I've personally witnessed. So I want you to know, I've met many, many peaceful people like you who are Muslim, who are incredible human beings to have dinner with, have conversations with, and major respect to those guys. This is not a blanket statement on everybody. A part of my challenge is trying to see if the two can coexist. Because if you can't coexist, then don't force it to coexist. Let them individually build their own societies and see what can happen. Let me go to my next question here with you. And I know how you are, so you're probably going to want to comment on that as well, and you can go forward. I'm really interested in hearing both your answers on both topics. But let's just say you leave today, okay? We finish the podcast. I tell you, Imam, respectfully, I don't think you're 100% there. I think you need to consider, becoming a Christian. And you say 100%, no way, even if I came from that agnostic family, I would still end up being where I'm at right now. You said that earlier, about 30 minutes ago. But say something happens. You have a miracle that happens. Something happens, you go to sleep tonight, you have a dream. It's a dream. You're actually sitting down having a conversation with Jesus, and anything that you're seeing, all of a sudden, next day, you know what? I'm going to become a Christian. If that were to happen, what happens to you?
Okay, you guys remember this question. Just because he's not going to get an answer to it. He's going to get another soliloquy for 6 years. But the question is, what happens to you if you leave Islam? What happens to you if you leave Islam? Look at how he dances around this one. This is where I don't respect him. And Imam Tawhidi, if you're listening, this is why I don't respect you, is because you don't answer questions. You say that you're not going to do this, and you do it. You say you're not going to evade, but you evade.
Dreams are not evidence or proof for us. No.
Dreams are not evidence or proof for us. Yo, boy, yeah. For us.
For the logical.
For the logical. Boy. Yo, boy, yeah.
Forget about the dream. You read the Bible. You had a moment. You prayed.
Which I have.
And you pray. And you decide you want to become a Christian. Your choice. What happens to you?
See, just remember, he's asking what happens to you if you leave Islam. He won't answer it.
I already believe in Jesus Christ as a prophet of God.
No, but you leave. You denounce as being a Muslim and you become a Christian.
Okay. Let me answer you.
Please.
Let me answer you. Watch.
But please allow me to answer you.
No.
Please allow me. He's begging you to answer it. I already put Ben David on my prayer list.
No problem.
Okay.
I haven't interrupted you, so you go ahead.
No, believe me, it's a real pleasure sitting with you, Patrick. Not only are you respectful, you come from a region where you understand exactly what I'm saying, and I love the fact
Nobody
that
understands what you're saying.
The viewers will know that if I am in any way not being direct,
You're not being direct.
you would have the knowledge to say, hang on, right? So I appreciate that.
Be direct.
These questions don't apply to me, Patrick.
These questions don't apply to me, Patrick.
This question doesn't apply to me. And the question that you asked
It
when
doesn't
you
apply. Help me, someone.
played my, when I was warning the West, you said, well, someone can say, why is he still a Muslim?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't apply to me either.
It doesn't apply to him, you guys. Yeah, but yeah.
Why? Because that would be asking me to let go of what is mine.
Exactly. Let go of what is yours. In case you watch this, Imam Tawhidi, let go of what is yours and take what is his. Because what is yours is going to leave you in the situation you're in. Jesus says, lay down your life and take his instead. Yes, give up what is yours. whatever it is that's yours. It's not worth, it's like Jesus said, a man who finds a field that has one pearl of great price, he goes and sells everything he has to go buy it. Jesus is the pearl of great price. Sell everything you have, give away everything that's yours to have him. In case you watch this.
I didn't say leave a religion that I adhere to or believe in. I'm not speaking about belief here. This is not an issue of faith. I will not let go of what is mine.
Let go of what is
I repeat
yours.
for you, it is mine.
It's,
What does that mean?
you don't need it.
It means I am a Muslim who is Arab, who comes from the tribe of Tai. Tai being one of the most prominent Ta'iyya, the prominent tribes in Arabia.
Here.
And God sent a prophet. You know how in Judaism God sends prophets from the Israelites for the Israelites, right? So God sent a prophet to us who spoke our language, and God sent down his book in my language. The Quran says inside that we created it, or we made it an Arabic Quran in order for you to understand.
What the heck, man? What the heck? Why don't you answer a question, right? All he's asking you is what happens to you if you leave Islam. That was the question. What the heck are you talking about? What is all this evasion? I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because I did respect you. But this hurts to watch you evading the topic like this. And he's also saying something else with what he's saying now about the Arabs and all this stuff. That means that the religion is for the Arabs. I wish it didn't go away, it just stayed there, you know, and let us deal with it. But instead, you're taking it to everybody now.
That its original language was not Arabic. It was made Arabic for us.
For you,
God in Islam wants to speak to the Somali community, he speaks to them in Arabic.
he speaks to them in Arabic, not in Somali. And if they want to talk to him, they have to talk to him in Arabic too, even though they don't understand what they're saying. Same way the American Muslims, if they want to talk to Allah, they have to talk to him in Arabic, even though they don't know what they're talking about. Everybody, he only understands Arabic.
They can translate it all they like, but this is the language of Islam, Arabic.
But yeah, I don't know what the heck you're saying.
God
Or
doesn't
what it has to do with what you were asked.
have a language, but God spoke to us in Arabic, in my language, in my mother tongue.
But yeah,
And he sent a prophet to us. He didn't put us in a different continent and then a prophet came to us from a different continent, like Islam moved and people converted after receiving its message in Malaysia and Indonesia and the Indian subcontinent. This is mine. My ancestors are the companions of the prophet. Adi ibn Hatim al-Ta'i gave 2 eyes for the prophet in defending him. I am not a convert that walked into this religion 50 or 20 years ago.
so are you better than the convert?
My DNA is as old as this religion. When the
What makes you better? DNA?
prophet first came to Arabia, we believed in him and we stood by him and we did everything he said. This
No, you don't. No, you don't.
religion is where it is today because of us and people like me. The Arab Muslims, the children of the companions of the prophet, the children of the family of the prophet,
Yeah, but yeah,
those who intermarried with the
you guys, if I can just be racist, I could just be racist a little bit because I am Arab, so I can be racist about Arabs. I am Arab, so.
prophet. Those who took his message and defended him and spread his message for him. That's us. That is why Islam is run out of Mecca. That is why it's run out of Saudi Arabia and out of the UAE. Because we are the first generation Muslims who the Prophet would receive message from God and hand it over to our people, my forefathers. To be suggesting that I leave, it's mine. Why would I let go of it? Khamenei needs to leave the religion, not me. Khomeini needs to leave the religion. Ilhan Omar needs to leave the religion. The Muslim Brotherhood needs to leave my religion. It belongs to me. Patrick, if you have 10 homes, as an example, and someone decides to squat in your home, and then society tells you, well, you have many homes. One of them is called Bahrain, one is called Oman, one is called naming Muslim countries. Why don't you leave? You're going to say, what? I understand, but it's mine. That's how I feel, Patrick. When I see these extremist Islamists, it's not my opinion versus theirs or theirs versus mine. It is them who have crossed the line into my faith and have,
You know, and they think you have crossed the line into their faith, and there's a lot more of them than you.
hijacked it, and with money and influence have come here first and have become the face of my religion. That's how I feel.
It's not just them, though. It's not just them. And what they're doing, unfortunately, is in your books.
So please, it's not us versus them.
It is you versus them.
It's them thieves who need to leave. Khamenei needs to swap his turban
Get him to leave. Get him to leave.
for a crown, representing my God and my Prophet with his turban. That turban curses him daily. If he wears it saying it's a sin,
What the heck? Is he going to answer the question? What happens to you if you leave Islam? I know you got this 10 hours of soliloquy here. Answer the question. All you've done is evade. If you're watching, I know you're not going to watch this, but if you do, dude, you are master the evader. And I know you got zillions of people want to talk to you. I don't know why. In light of this, I don't know why, to be honest. I'm so disappointed in you that you don't answer the questions. You didn't answer any questions.
symbol of religion and piety, that turban curses Khamenei daily, and my turban is honored that I am wearing it. That's the difference. I'm a theologian, right? I'm a cleric. I'm not a politician. I speak to you in this manner. So when I speak about my religion, I am speaking about something that is mine, not something that I subscribe to or heard about or I was born with.
Jesus said, go sell all that you have and come and follow me. Jesus said, go sell what you have. You said you have, it's yours. That's a problem. Sell all that you have and follow Jesus.
It belongs to us. I was born with it. I will carry it till the day I die. That's the difference, Patrick.
I wish you knew.
Bismillah.
I wish you knew how much I respect people who have the ability to be reasonable and have reasonable conversation, and they have conviction. We don't have to agree on things. I have tremendous respect for your
Likewise.
ability to be reasonable and have the conviction that you have and the pride of where you are and saying it's not me that needs to leave, it's they need to leave. But that still doesn't answer my question.
Right on. Right on. Right on. You didn't answer the question.
Okay. That was a beautiful 7 minutes you went on. I'm asking.
Sorry, I didn't know.
No, I love it. And I would have let you go 30 more minutes. I don't want you to take it as if time is limited, although we are coming to the end. I'd like to go a few more minutes with you. Is if you were to leave, and let's change the question. You have a very persuasive way of delivering your message. You have a following. You have tens, if not hundreds of millions of online views. You have millions of followers. People follow you and what you have to say. Say you influence somebody. You'll never meet this person, but he follows your teaching the way you suggest, what books, what sect, what scripture to go through, and the way you deliver the message. That person's been a follower of you and the way you teach the religion of Islam, the way you go through it, last 10 years. And that person chooses to leave, what happens to them? That person says, I no longer want to be a Muslim. I'm
Like
out.
apostasy,
Yes.
they're free to leave.
Free to leave. Yabaye, yabaye, yabaye. They're free to leave. Yabaye, yabaye.
According to who?
According to Islam, there is no law
Okay.
that is agreed upon that says they need to be killed.
Okay. So
How did he know the punishment? There's no law that they need to be. How did he know the punishment? Why didn't he say that they should get 50 lashes or something? How did he know that it says? Because that's exactly the punishment his prophet said many, 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 many times.
and then what is how do you and I'm trying to see if you've ever done anything, because I don't know if you have or haven't. How do you view some of these social media influencers that are out there debating the religion of Islam? How do you view some of these guys? Get a lot of views.
You
Yeah.
said it, influencers. They're
Right.
not scholars.
So give me some names. Like, who would you see and say, this is a valid person that you've called a lot of people out. There isn't anybody bigger to call out than Khamenei today. You've called out Khamenei.
Khamenei is not big.
You've called out Vahid. Okay. You've called out Khomeini. You've called out a lot of people.
They are midgets in the region.
They may be midgets in their region, but there are giants with the amount of money and influence that they have and control that they have. So you can say that, but they have control. And guess what? As amazing as the Shah of Iran was, he was able to only control that beautiful place for 37 years. These guys have been able to control it for 46 years. 46 years.
Because of the West, because of America.
That's a different conversation. We can get to that as well. But I want to get to the question. When you see some of these influencers, who would you say reasonable? Just a, social media guy, not a real guy. This guy's a real guy. Who would you say? And have you debated any of these guys?
I'm not a debater. Sometimes things happen, and you find yourself in front of someone talking. I'm not a debater, but
You have to realize the youth is consuming their content around the world. And it's just going to get bigger. And that's
Right.
depicting what you believe in.
right. If there is one man that I would direct people to listen to or read his words and read about him, it would be Sheikh Zayed, the founder of the UAE. It would be that man, the father of the current president. Sheikh Zayed ibn Sultan Al Nahyan. Please pull him up. That man.
What the heck? Is he a YouTube influencer? You guys, this thing unfortunately isn't going to get any better. This isn't going to get any better. This guy is, and it's getting late. So, Sheikh Zayed, my goodness. Unbelievable. Thank you. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. And you can't make sense either. I'm really disappointed, man. Really disappointed. Just because this guy was one of the ones who, I thought, well, this guy's got it. He knows how to build bridges and how to talk intelligibly and intelligently. But I tell you what, on this end, if I never saw anything from this guy, except this interview, I would not respect him. So disappointed in him. It's my opinion. Oh, it's funny you said Sly Fox, because my wife showed me something. I just want to show you guys. Oh, you know what? I don't have my phone. Shoot, I have to show it to you. Oh, maybe I could show it to you this way. Did you guys have enough of this guy? I did. You know, he's not getting any better, man. And let me see if I can. I don't know if I can. Oh, okay. I can show it to you. Okay, guys. This is a program from Iran. It's a Persian program, and it's about a fox. Because somebody mentioned fox, so I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Okay, and it's about it's a fox, and the fox is called makar, which is where you get the word makir from.
خیلی خب پس من میرم آب بیارم چطوره؟
بهترین کار وقت و هدر نده.
میتونیم بری و با خیال راحت برگردیم.
This is like Pinocchio, and
پس من میرم از اون پایین آب بیارم.
this is the fox is called makar. Makar, which means the wily fox or the deceptive fox. And it's the same word that is Allah's name in Makir. It's the same word. Yeah, like Jesus said about the fox. And in the Arabic or in the Persian, it's called makar. The fox is called the makar. And you guys, you know what I found out? Oh, you're not going to believe this. This is going to be devastating. Makar does not mean that the fox is a good planner. I know. When I told you he's the foxy makar, that you were thinking, oh, he's a good city planner. He knows how to plan the future. No, it means he's deceptive. And that's what this is. It's about this because the word makr means deceiver. So Nader Ahmed's correct. It's a good word. Farfour. Makar, yes. No, I don't think Farfour is in here. Yes. But the makir is Khair al-Makirin. All right, you guys. I just wanted to show you a little bit about. My wife kind of told me about this today, so I said, okay, let's watch it. And we watched a little, and I said, oh my goodness. And I'll tell you, as disappointed as I am in Tawhidi, and you know what? I used to like him. After this, I don't really like him. But I am so impressed with Patrick Ben-David. I'm so impressed with him. He didn't let him get away with anything. He really hit it out of the park, I think, with this interview. I really respect him. I really appreciate him. And I'll watch the rest of it. And if anything is worth showing, I'll try to show it to you tomorrow, maybe. If not, have a happy Christmas Eve. I love Christmas Eve. Love Christmas. And all right. Thank you guys for being with us. If you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Yesur, sa'idni. Yesur, samahni. Yesur, udkhul qalbi. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Have a wonderful Christmas. For those of you who I won't see until then, God bless you.